こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の動画は、リーズユナイテッドの田中碧に関する動画です。リーズユナイテッドはプレシーズンマッチの初戦で、マンチェスターユナイテッドと対戦し、スコアレスドローで終わりました。マンチェスターユナイテッドファンは、すでに失望したり怒ったりしているファンが多いようですが、リーズファンは、期待感も感じるような試合だったように感じます。実際に良いプレーも多かったでしょうし、プレミアリーグの中でも下位レベルのマンチェスターユナイテッド相手だとは言っても、プレミアリーグで通用しているように十分に見える試合であり、田中碧も、完全に負けていない上に、相手を翻弄しているプレーも多かったのではないでしょうか。ワンリーズチャンネルでは、以前より懸念していた田中碧のフィジカルは、この試合ではあまり試されなかったのかもしれませんが、プレス耐性が非常に高く、落ち着いてプレーしているように感銘を受け、やはり良いプレイヤーだったという評価をしているように思えます。フィジカル面の懸念が払拭したわけではないものの、アンパドも良いパフォーマンスだったことから、田中碧を先発メンバーとするのかどうか、悩ましいという感じのようにも伺えます。実際にどのように話しているのか、チェックしてみましょう。
Well, hello everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. What did you make of that one? Leeds holding Man United out to a score draw here at the Strawberry Arena. But yeah, everybody, I thought it was a really interesting game. Listen, we've got a little bit of a prize bit for you as well. As you can see, not there, but as you can see on screen right now, you have to like this video and be subscribed to the channel. Register on GNO, link in the description below, everybody. You can become part of the GNO Members Club absolutely free. If you send a message to hello@shopgno.com saying One Leeds, there will basically be 4 of you that we will pick to get a brand new Leeds United shirt. That's it. Just enter the members club. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribed, and we will cross-reference all of those with Shop GNO, and that'll be it. You can win a Leeds United shirt. Get involved, everybody. You might as well. Okay, so in that game in particular, make sure you're engaging as well with the watch along, everybody. We had 2.8K in the building on that one. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed it. It was a really good stream. So overall, the things that started, the thing that was stark for me was this guy. Okay, so confirmed before kickoff, Fabrizio Romano. Here we go, and that's why we've got him on screen right now. The exciting compartment of that midfield. Someone who's going to bring in a lot of press resistance, a shielder, someone who can work in a single pivot, someone who can work in a double pivot. The starter in every single game that Leeds United should play, in my opinion, because he can do everything of which we want in that midfield. Now, it was so interesting in particular. That's a great place to start the midfield. Sean Longstaff, it's kind of what I was explaining at the start, in my opinion, when it comes down to Sean. Play the way you're facing, box-to-box midfielder, but I'm not going to add attributes to Sean. He is a box-to-box midfielder who is dynamic from the right-hand side of a midfield 3. I thought the 4-3-3 was interesting today. I thought it worked in a certain sense, but you saw the midfield component, didn't you, everybody? I thought Altanaka was superb. I thought Ethan Ampadu was superb. He grew into the game after that first sort of 5 or 10 minutes, was giving the ball away a little bit, but then he grew, was opening his body up when he knew that there was a person coming and pressing him, one of the Man United players, and he was able to move past, pivot past that and still play the ball forward. What I love about Ethan is in that double pivot, he can still shoulder roll. So he'll drop his shoulder, play the ball on that little side, give him a yard of space, and then he'll play it around the corner. He won't go lateral, he won't go back, or he will do in certain instances, but he can just shoulder drop, move the ball onto that right foot, and he's got enough just agility over a 3 to 5 yard space where he can do that and still play the ball around the corner. He was doing that, and I think that's where Leeds were getting a lot of joy. Really good. Really enjoyed that double pivot. And against still a Manchester United of which we had to keep quiet. You had Cunha in there, Bruno Fernandes, occupying just that midfield space. Was really impressed with that as a double pivot. And he kind of saw Altanaka, really, and of what we've been speaking about during this period of time, of which has kind of revolved, really, around Altanaka maybe not being able to compete against some of the top teams physically. That could still be a thing. If Leeds want to go to a low block, if Leeds want to have 4 defenders or 5 defenders effectively with the goalkeeper and have 3 compact midfielders, all big, all physical, all athletic, you'd have Longstaff in their stack and Ethan Ampadu, okay, combative at least, maybe not so much big with Ethan Ampadu, but they'd all be within an invisible sort of a rope length with each other. You drag yourselves in, you compact, you're hard to beat. That's what you want. But Altanaka is just so press resistant, so cool, so calm, so composed. It's difficult for me to say that you get rid of him. But in a 3, I think it's either going to be Ampadu or Tanaka. I think he's going to leave one of them out. I think Longstaff starts. I've just got a feeling. I think Longstaff starts in a midfield. And I think Anton Stack obviously comes in and starts as well. But really interesting. I thought that defense, I really liked Beal in there. There was a couple of times as well when he was on both feet. Did you notice that in the game, everybody? He'd be passing out on his right and his left. Thought he looked composed. Thought he looked really calm as well and assured in that back line. Rodon, they were both being put under pressure. They were both being put under pressure by quite an aggressive Man United front line. Leeds coped with it really well, I thought, in that first half. We have to talk about Jadon Bogle. We have to talk about Willian Gnonto and Tanaka. Basically, what was happening is Tanaka on the right-hand side of that midfield was basically like we used to see with the likes of Matthias Klick, like we used to see with Luke Ayling and Helder Costa. There was a little trio. We used to see that all the time with Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United. This was happening again. You saw it on the left-hand side when it came to Gruev, Byram and Harrison. You saw it on the right-hand side when it came to Tanaka, Bogle, and Gnonto. And the beautiful thing about Willian Gnonto is he closes the space. He closes the space. Dan James elongates the space and he goes long. Willie closes the space. And basically you get more sequences, you get more combination play. And that was working to absolute beautiful effect in that first half. Willie was coming short. They'd play little 1-2s and the ball would be played over the top for Jadon. I thought Jadon Bogle was unbelievable. When he was being pressed, he was able to get out of it in tight spaces. The same with Gnonto, and that's why that combination between those two is a real facilitator for a certain style of play that Leeds want to play. If you want to get out of trouble, you play the ball over the top to James. If you want to be technical in effect and you want to break Leeds apart and get beyond and in and around the crucial spaces, you start Bogle and Gnonto. What an incredible option to have. Let's talk about the left-hand side. Nowhere near good enough. I don't like the fact that Byram is a option, in my opinion. I get the fact that it's homegrown. I understand that it's a fan favorite option, but you know, I'm not just going to go with the fan favorite option on here. I'm going to give my honest opinion. Sam Byram and Gruev and Harrison as just a trio, and that won't happen often, but I wouldn't even like to see Anton Stack dealt with the task of elevating Sam Byram and Jack Harrison at any effect on that left-hand side. I think Sam Byram, you saw yet again where when he's put under any sort of press on that left-hand side, he reverts to going backwards because he's not confident to open his body up and distribute on that left-hand side or even cut in. I think what Sam Byram is on that left side is a runner. Okay, so he won't advance with the ball, on the ball. He's a runner. So let's say if Gruev gets it in a left-back position, of which he does when it comes to Leeds United build-up, you'll get Sam running centrally and trying to almost get into that attacking midfield space, and Gruev will look to pass it forward, build up between Harrison, maybe facilitates that of Sam Byram roaming into that space. But not for me. I don't want him as left-back cover. That's not a disparaging comment on Sam. I like Sam, but I don't think it's quality enough when put under a press by any team. And I don't think Man United are orchestrated in a sense as well where the wingers are press heavy consistently. I think when you look at Brighton in particular under Herzler, I think when you look at Iriola's Bournemouth and just teams like this in and around the mid-bracket, those teams, if Sam Byram is forced to start because maybe of a Goodmanson injury, will, I think, really expose Sam Byram, and it will be a ploy because he really struggles to build up on that left-hand side. So you press him, in effect, make him go back, make Leeds go long. You go long a lot of the time, and there might be a 50-50 chance that you pick up the ball, as we saw in that second half. So what I wanted to talk about as well is Nemecha. I thought Nemecha was really good. I thought there was a big difference between him and Perot in terms of Leeds being facilitated, again, using that F word, being able to build up, hit Nemecha. Nemecha, I thought, had a success rate against De Ligt, which was probably, I'd say it was more successful than De Ligt's winners up against him. I thought Nemecha was strong. He was powerful. He was good on the ball. And I think you get Peru as a third in and behind Rodrigo Muniz if we get him, and Nemecha. I think Nemecha, if fit, is a much better option than Peru, in my opinion. Peru did okay in the second half, but once again, we saw a scenario in that second half after that first 5 to 10 minute spell where Peru was struggling to hold the ball up against Man United centre-backs, and Leeds was struggling to get out. So effectively, you're trying to be direct, but you can't be direct because you've got a player up there who stylistically isn't a hold-up player, isn't a number 9. So that, I thought that was a bit of a problem, but when Nemecha was there in the first half, which is more likely going to be Leeds' starting option, I thought he was really decent, was really impressed by him. Gabby Goodmanson came in, liked his overlapping runs. I thought at some points the ball maybe got stuck under his feet and you could maybe just play the ball in, around and behind Gabby Goodmanson. But overall, I liked his duel rate. I thought he was strong in the tackle. I thought his perception of where the ball was going to land was good as well. They were trying to 1-2 around him a couple of times, which we've seen from his highlights. I wonder if that was a ploy from Man United. But a couple of 1-2s, balls over into the channels, which they were trying to do quite a little bit, to be fair. I thought he recovered well, got on the end of connection, got on the end of the ball well, made good connections with it. But I thought it was abundantly clear that when Tanaka and Ampadu came off, in particular in that midfield, Leeds lost a little bit of control. But overall, I thought Bogle was exceptional. I thought Nemecha was very good. I thought Nonto was very, very good as well. And you can see stylistically how Leeds are going to work around this when it comes to profiles. But overall, I thought it was a good outing from Leeds United. I just want to touch on Jack Harrison a little bit towards the end. I don't agree with the boos. I've mentioned this several times. I just come from a performance perspective when it comes to Leeds United. That is just a little bit of a bonus problem for me. But this is the positive of today. Anton Stack coming to Leeds United. That's the massive positive for today. But Jack Harrison, look, how many times have we said it on this channel? 5 years, 7, 8 years when it comes to another channel as well. Jack Harrison is not good enough for Leeds United. He would be our 5th winger. Some people think I'm harsh for saying that, but more obvious nature today. Under a press goes back. Hot and cold Harrison was dragging his shorts up, looking at the sky when he'd do things wrong. Not only that, 2 opportunities to cross the ball into the box, completely wayward. No sort of efficiency when it comes to that decision making. So I never want to see Byram. I never want to see Harrison. If I'm being honest with you guys, near to the starting 11 for Leeds United. You guys might have different opinions on that, especially when it comes to Byram, but I don't. I think it's better. I think there's better teams in terms of pressing efficiency that will get so much joy from that. So overall, though, some really positive things in that performance. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, get involved in the competition, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.
次は解説です。今回は、量は多くはないものの、知っていると便利なボキャブラリーも多かったかなと思いますので、早速本日の解説をチェックしてみましょ
う。The thing that was stark for me was this guy.
スタークは、対比や感情、状況の厳しさを強調したいときに使う語です。スタークコントラストで、はっきりした対比のように、2つの物事の違いを際立たせる際によく使われます。また、スタークリアリティといえば、過酷な現実といったニュアンスになり、現実の厳しさを表すのに適しています。口語よりはフォーマルよりで、ニュース記事や評論、ビジネス文書でもよく登場します。ネイティブが使う、強い語感のある単語なので、しっかり意味と使い方を押さえておきましょう。
The thing that was stark for me was this guy. The thing that was stark for me was this guy. And then he'll play it round the corner.
アラウンドザコーナーは非常によく使われる日常表現です。直訳すると角を曲がったところにですが、比喩的にもすぐそこにや間近に迫っているという意味で使われ、例えばクリスマスがもうすぐだよという時などに使われます。サッカーやスポーツでは角度をつけてパスを出すといったプレーの場面でも使われます。会話でもニュースでもよく耳にするので、聞き取れるようになっておきたい表現です。
And then he'll play it round the corner. And then he'll play it round the corner. He won't go lateral. He won't go back. Or...
ラテラルは横のや側面のという意味を持つ少しフォーマルな単語です。日常会話ではあまり出てきませんが、スポーツやビジネス、または思考法の一つであるラテラルシンキングとしてよく使われます。特にサッカーやアメフトでは横パスなどが典型例です。ビジネスではラテラルムーブで同じ役職での移動のように上下関係のない横並びの構造を示すときに使われます。使えると知的で専門的な印象を与える単語なので文脈に応じた使い方を覚えましょ
う。He won't go lateral, he won't go back, he won't go lateral, he won't go back. Dan James elongates the space and he goes long.
イロンゲートはロングから派生した語で引き伸ばすや延長するという意味を持ちます。日常会話ではあまり見かけませんが、科学、医学、スポーツの文脈でよく使われます。例えば、筋肉を伸ばすや影が長くなるなど、物理的に長くなる様子を描写するときにぴったりです。形容詞で使うと、細長いという形状描写にもなります。語源がわかりやすく、覚えやすい単語なので、語彙力を高めたい中上級者には特におすすめです。
Dan James elongates the space and he goes long. Dan James elongates the space and he goes long. That's not a disparaging comment on Sam.
ディスパリッジは誰かを軽んじたり悪く言ったりすることを意味するフォーマルな単語です。口語ではプットダウンなどが使われますが、ディスパリッジはより書き言葉やニュース、ビジネス文書で見かける表現です。使う場面は限られますが、ネガティブな評価や発言を批判的に述べるときに非常に便利です。日本語で言うと、けなすや見くびるに相当します。上級者向けの語彙ですが、知っておくと語彙力の幅が広がります。
That's not a disparaging comment on Sam. That's not a disparaging comment on Sam. I wonder if that was a ploy from Man United.
プロイは策略や手段と訳される名詞で、特に何かを達成するための賢い、 あるいはずるい方法というニュアンスがあります。日常会話では、トリックやタクティックのような語と一緒に覚えておくと便利です。ビジネス、政治、広告、さらにはスポーツ戦術の場面など、幅広く使える単語です。ややフォーマルで知的な響きがあるため、トイックなどのリーディングやライティングでも見かける可能性があります。
So I wonder if that was a ploy from Man United. So I wonder if that was a ploy from Man United. Completely wayward. No sort of efficiency.
ウェイワードは、人や物が思い通りにならない。予測不能。勝手な動きをすることを表す形容詞です。人に対して使うと、気まぐれ。わがまま。反抗的などを意味し、物に対して使うと、狙いが外れるや、軌道がぶれるという意味になります。ニュース、スポーツ実況、また文学や映画レビューなどフォーマルからカジュアルな会話まで幅広く登場します。
Completely wayward. No sort of efficiency. Completely wayward. No sort of efficiency.
いかがでしたか？私は、まだこの試合をフルで見たわけではないのですが、ハイライトも含め、ところどころ見た限りでは、プレミアリーグのチーム相手でも変わらず、明らかに自信と余裕を持ってボールを扱っているように思えました。フィジカルの問題も、田中碧のプレーの仕方では、バチバチに当たり合わなくても、ボールの動かし方や、ポジショニングの仕方、体の使い方で、十分通用しそうに見えますが、ディフェンスで体を張るケースは多いでしょうし、相手がより本気でぶつかってきた時に、どれだけ対応できるかが、田中碧の一番懸念されているところでもあり、最も評価が分かれてしまうポイントになるのだろうと思います。それでもやはり田中碧が田中碧らしいプレーが見れて、ニョントとボーグルとの狭いスペースでのパス回しもうますぎるほどで、ただただ楽しかったです。私はまだこの試合をフルで見ていないので、コナーや他のリーズファンのリアクションだけを見てこの動画をまず上げていますが、グレーブとアンパドとの中盤3人の構成であれば、アーロンソンの10番の位置を外し、田中碧が8番か10番に近いところでもプレーしているのではないかなと想像しますが、これからフルの試合を見て、そのあたりも楽しみたいと思っています。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。